ought to be an expert in this one, especially having followed William, who really does know what he's talking about. But my rant today is about fake artisan food. I want to have a moan about big business copycats and the nemesis of small independents, which is the supermarket, which is especially topical around here at the moment. Firstly, what is artisan food? I've asked about, we've done a little straw poll today, and it seems there is no legal definition for it. Please correct me if I'm wrong, if anyone knows more. Is that sensible? Or do we, as small producers, want to have to jump through hoops for trading standards to prove that we are artisan producers ourselves? I'm afraid the thought of dealing with trading standards even more than we have to really doesn't appeal to most of us. Okay, so artisan food. What do you think of when you think of artisan food? I think of handmade, think of craftsmanship, of lovingly produced and nurtured, usually ethical, often family business, from the kitchen table, and obviously absolutely delicious. I think of happy pigs roaming around and before being taken to a small local abattoir, and then the pork being processed by a small number of people who all know each other into a small number of sausages or sausage rolls or whatever. And that's what the big boys would like you to think. So when they get caught out by the ASA, the Advertising Standards Authority, for their adverts being misleading, because the actual pigs in the actual products aren't the actual happy porkers rooting around in the forest that their advert shows, they respond with surprise. The farmer shown apparently does genuinely supply them with pork, just the indoor bred ones, not the ones that we saw in the advert. So this particular supermarket in question that has recently been caught out responded with being a bit baffled by this ruling. The same supermarket responded in surprise and dismay when they got in trouble for claiming that their bread was baked in store from scratch using 100% British flour, making every loaf genuinely British, except only about 20% of its stores actually bake in-house, and some use imported flour. In fact, their artisan range is delivered to them in pre-measured packets and pretty much only turned out into a tin and baked in store, if indeed they can bake in store. So where's the artisan in that? Now, what about the suppliers to these supermarkets? It is beyond me, as a small producer myself, how an artisan producer can supply 150,000 sausage rolls a week. Now, some issues don't apply to products with long shelf lives, though. I mean, we have people here exhibiting here who run local businesses who also supply the supermarkets and make own brand products for other people. But are they still artisan when they're making that in that quantity? Does artisan mean small? I don't know the answer to that. It is hard, though, for the artisan producers to successfully supply the multiples because we haven't got the budgets. We can't afford the big backhanders or the promotions or whatever it is to get our products in the eagle eye space, the prime end of our locations. It makes it really hard for us to be successful, and it makes it risky as well, because if we invest in the machinery and then we don't sell, then we get delisted. Now, this kind of leads me to my other bugbear, which is big business, venture capitalists backed and run by marketing experts. These people have no interest in anything other than profit, with vast investment in production innovation and brand communications. These are people who have researched the market and know how to make a label appear artisan. Pop a picture of Bob from the factory floor on it and make it look like he's one of the family firm. Now, most of us here are in the business for the love of it, and escape from previous careers, taking the family farm further, or perhaps a suggestion by family and friends that our jam is the most delicious they've ever tried and we should try and take it further, or whatever. It takes years to make a profit, and we do really start at the kitchen table or in the dairy or in the bakery or the home-built smokehouse. And we get up at ridiculous hours to go to farmers markets, and we chop and mix by hand until we can afford that bit of kit that helps us. We have bank managers who cry when we come and see them. But we believe in what we do, and I believe we are genuine artisan producers. We start really small and we dream of great things and get there slowly, if at all. Now, I have to be honest, I joined an artisan firm, having run farmers markets for a while, and I'm not even part of the family or even the original team for the company I work for. But I do still have to go into the kitchen and help out as well. But what we're starting to see is big business wanting a piece of the action, setting up copycat companies with identical products to ours with unclear sourcing, massive budgets and bought-in marketing know-how. Of course, we as foodies, and I assume we are all foodies here, I mean we are here after all, we look at these labels and we read them and we wonder how a company that purports to be from North Yorkshire has a head office in central London. They tell us that they started at the kitchen table and they attended farmers markets. Well, they did once anyway, and they either outsource production or they have amazing facilities. But as foodies, experts, producers and lovers of, we can see past this. Does the average consumer? I don't know. It sounds like sour grapes. They're making pots of cash and we're not, but is it fair? They're misleading the consumer with their stories and their packaging. Now, how can we fix it? I don't know. I don't think there is a legal term for definition for artisan, and so how do we stop them faking it? I don't know. I have no idea. Rant over.
Well done. Thank you very much.